All right, guys, we are here with episode 11 with our special guest, Matt Rega, who I've known for a long time through the wrestling community, gotten to connect, having some real good conversations about life and self-improvement and stress and monitoring our stress. And we're all just trying to plug and play here as we go and, you know, find gratitude. And it seems like every time that we finish up with a guest, Billy and I have been fortunate enough to learn a little bit of something from everybody, and we start implementing these things as we go. So, Matt, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate
Absolutely, man. You know, looking forward to chatting about all things life before the camera started airing. Talking about some wrestling stories from back in the day and, you know, some boxing stuff. So I kind of want to start with your new endeavor with the boxing. Like, okay. I want to kind of get a feel from you, like, what started that and, like, how's that been going so far?
Yeah, so I haven't done anything like competitive, like wrestling probably since I tried a little bit of the MMA, but I've had such bad shoulders over the last, you know, since I was in high school pretty much, that by like my second team practice, my shoulder just kept dislocating. So I took a little hiatus from like fighting and stuff, but I was just looking for another outlet to work out and to find another just like hobby. Like I was kind of tired of just going to the gym and just lifting normal. I needed something else.
Something different.
Challenge.
Absolutely hate cardio. Like every day I walk in and be like, all right, I'm going to lift. And then I'm going to go do cardio. As soon as I'm done with my lift, I'm out of
walking
there.
right past the treadmill.
Not even thinking about going up. So for this, to get my heart rate going and to sweat, like by the first practice, I was like, oh my God, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
So I'm lazy, so I'm not like a big traveler. So I looked up online and there was a boxing gym across from where I get my hair cut at in Borough. It was I think it's Borough Boxing and Muay Thai or something.
Cool.
And that's in Point Borough.
Point Borough, yeah, on Bridge Ave. So I was at...
He's right across from Nature's Rewards. Billy Borowski, another member of the wrestling community.
So I was at Cuts Connect getting a haircut. I look across the street, and me and Anthony were going back and forth. I was like, yeah, I want to box and stuff. I reached out to the DM them, and I was like, hey, you guys do privates? I wanted more of a one-on-one. I didn't want to do like a class. I just wanted to kind of like...
do your thing and have your time.
Kind of have the attention on me so I can learn instead of like him going to take care of other people, just, you know, focus on, you know, me. Because I did, after the first practice, I realized that's what was way better. Like,
I'm sure.
I learned with the one-on-one probably would have taken me a couple weeks.
Definitely.
So after reaching out and doing practice, I was hooked. Like, I walked out of there like super high on life. Like, whoa, I know how to punt. Oh my God, exhausted.
Kicks the shit out of you, right?
God, dude,
yeah.
Like, I haven't sweated like that in a while. I haven't worked out like that in a while, so I was...
My first boxing practice, I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die, but I felt incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And that was the first time of me kind of even... I have a very crazy busy summer, so I started like towards the end of... I think right after I closed my store, the Beach Shack, so right in the first week of October. So I didn't really work out in the summertime, so it was like the first time even just getting back into working out again. So I was... way negative of like being in shape.
Yeah.
But I mean, leaving that, it was almost like back in like the wrestling days. Like I was just competitive. I was like, I want to go fight people. I want to do amateurs, and then I'm gonna go pro. And I'm like, all right, relax. You're 35 years old.
Yeah. You're 35. You just started.
Yeah, you just did one practice. You don't know how to throw a punch apparently.
Not sure how you could take one yet.
Tell me that's not the most humbling thing in the world.
Oh my God,
I sit there, I go in, my good friend is a Hall of Fame Marine Corps boxer, super accomplished, was headed to the Olympics, whatever. I go to box with him now. I fought. I know I could fight. I cannot box. Nope. I learned that really fast. Really fast.
Done, dude. It's hilarious. So I started, I like making content and stuff, so I was like, all right, I'll do my journey. I called it like Matt's Boxing Journey or something. Every practice, I bring my camera, I set up on the tripod, and I film every exercise that I do. And then I put together like a little vlog afterwards. And I post. All my friends lit me up. Dude, you can't fight. Your punches are shit. Like, what are you doing?
Tell them to get in there.
Oh, my. Well,
First of all, we're friends. Yeah. Second of all, what do you expect? I just signed up. I'm trying to get my shit together.
They're on their couch eating a cheeseburger and drinking a soda, and they're mocking me. But I was like, dude, it's way different. Like, same thing. I used to get in tons of fights, and all of our friends were, you know, the tough kids, the wrestlers, compared to just taking someone down and, you know, strangling him or ground and pound, to actually being able to throw a strategic punch and
keep your hands up, keep moving. Hardest part
very
for me,
humbling.
Bro, just moving properly for me was the biggest thing. And like moving properly, keeping your hands up, because Nate was really big on footwork, and or is really big on footwork. There was not a punch to be thrown after that first practice until I got my footwork right.
There you go.
And bro, that shit is humbling. Just listen, if we're fighting, I'm coming at you.
Oh yeah,
I'm not super worried about stepping side to side or how I'm moving. We're getting it. Boxing's a different animal, bro. Totally different.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not just me that experienced that.
It's even like my fiance Chelsea. We were I was telling her about practice and stuff, and she's like, finally. She's always watched me fight, and all I do is take people down. It's like right to a double leg takedown. She's like, finally, you could like throw a punch or something. I was like, we'll get there. But yeah, I mean, it's totally different. I had a friend that was making, you know, fun making fun, but he took a boxing class, and he goes, dude, you're so right. I do not know how to throw a punch.
Yeah,
right.
Everybody thinks they can fight until it's time to become a fighter.
Yeah,
right.
And there's a big difference between somebody who fights in the street and somebody who fights professionally or in a ring. It's
totally different.
Another world.
Bro, how about the fact that you're used to being in a wrestling stance and now you have to like stand straight up?
That's all I did was lean forward, head
back,
forward.
Get rocked.
He's like, dude, you're
in a
just gonna get
fight like that. Yeah.
you're gonna get hooked and jabbed all day long.
Yeah,
You gotta
you're leaving yourself right
lean
there.
back. Yeah, even just keeping my hands up. You know, just my arms getting tired, or
Bro,
just never,
it's exhausting
never
keeping your
using
hands
to
up.
like keep my hands up because they're always
down
and tight.
And now you got to hold them up, and you don't realize how heavy your arms are until they're up.
Oh, for
and
sure.
they're not. You cannot bring them down, because I'd rather feel tired like this than get rocked in the face
For sure.
repeatedly.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know, so you got no choice.
They, I like lifting. So when I first started, I was, you know, more on the stockier side, and now as of wanting to get better at boxing, I realized, and you just can't lift traditionally. Like you need to lean out. So I've been switching up my workouts finally. But I mean, just they say, you know, like bigger biceps. You know, those heavy arms are not good. I mean, my arms were like, I felt like, you know, I had like 300-pound arms. Like I could not keep them up by the.
They're dead.
No. So now that I switched my work up a little bit, and actually, you know, cardio and being, you know, working out for now, I think 3 months of boxing, you know, much better stamina of keeping the arm strength. But I mean, yeah, that was very humbling the first couple practices.
Yeah, you walk in there and everybody thinks they're going to be like a bull no matter what, right? And you get a quick dose of reality. And my first practice was with a bunch of like 12 and 15-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Because Nate ran the PAL program. And, you know, there were adults in there too. But, like, I'm looking at these little kids. And he's like, before you can take a match, you have to spar a 12-year-old. And I'm not sure at this point if he's fucking with me. I'm like, bro, I can't do that. I'll kill him if I hit him. His problem is you have to hit him first.
Yeah, he'll juke you.
And then you watch these kids and they're moving like for real. I'm 38. I just learned how to duck. You know, like I could get hit in the face.
I feel like boxing's an amazing sport overall, but I feel like the judges kind of ruined everything. And then I feel like these Paul brothers are kind of bringing it back to life, because there was a point in time there where you could watch like a 12-round fight or whatever. You're sitting on the couch and you're like, oh yeah, this guy definitely won. Yeah. And then like the end of the fight, like they raise the other guy's hand. You're like, what the hell?
Boxing died because of that. Yeah,
it really did. But I think it's coming back. But my point
like you said, they brought it back to mainstream media at this point. It's exciting again.
It seems like the American consumer likes the combat type stuff.
Who doesn't like seeing someone get punched in the face at the end of the day? And now, like, I mean, boxing, I guess, was always said it was very like rigged, and you know the promoters, they want who to win, and you know who they want to win. But now with like influencer boxing, and you know that's just another, you know, evolving with the times. Like everyone now, there's more people to watch influencers than I feel like they watch traditional boxing.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? You take a guy like Jake Paul or whatever. Now he can take the time to dedicate all of the time in the world to training. Yeah. He better be halfway decent enough to get in and box with somebody who's out of their element a little bit but has a name coming from MMA, or, you know. If you gave me that much time to train, I could do it too. Oh. But put him in a ring with a real boxer and see what happens.
Well, he's getting there, and like at first with the whole Jake Paul thing, I was a little like I didn't really know. It was like a YouTuber. He's fighting all these like washed up guys, like whatever it may be, finding his success. But I actually listened to a few of his things, and he blatantly talked about how he had the YouTube, he had all the money in the world, and he felt like a lot of the things we talk about, like he was like super in his own head. He was super depressed. He was unfulfilled, where boxing now gives him something to focus on. He has devoted his whole life, which my point back to you is I think that's awesome that as adults, like we can't lose sight of a lot of things that we did as kids, especially if you're an athlete. And I think a lot of times what happens is like you go through your athletic career and then you're an adult and you feel like what? Like I can't have any fun anymore. I can't learn a new thing. I can't, get sweaty anymore. And like these are all things that like our body and mind kind of long for, and we kind of neglect them for a long time. So I'm glad you took the bull by the horns and said, hey, I'm going to try something that I suck at.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in a wrestling stance for the next 3 months trying to box somebody.
I'm
going to figure it out. And I'm going to put it on social media. I'm going to let these telephone tough guys talk shit about me. And I'm coming back tomorrow and I'm hitting record again. Yep. And I'm going to gradually get a little bit better. And along that time, I think you got a lot of, you're building a lot of small victories for yourself, which I think we really start to lose sight of.
Well, getting out there and doing it is a small victory in itself.
Right.
You forget about if you actually have success doing it or get good at it. For me, I had been stagnant so long, and this is where I have to give the Paul brothers credit. They could have wanted to do something, and they could have half-assed it.
True.
But they went 100%.
Yeah.
They did it.
Right.
And you can't take it away from them. Who kicked the shit out of me in a boxing ring? I know that.
For sure.
But if I had the time to dedicate to it, maybe not. But at 38 years old, right after my 38th birthday, I decided I needed a change. I needed to feel something different. I wanted to feel alive again. I hadn't fought in a while. I kind of had an urge to get hit in the face. Like, as fucked up as it sounds, I don't mind getting hit in the face. But it got me out of my comfort zone. You got to learn to adapt on the fly in there, especially when you don't know anything. And I'm sure you had a similar experience to that. You're completely out of your element. It's totally different than any fight you've been in, any wrestling match you've been in. It's like nothing you've ever done. But at 38, now I'm figuring it out. Now, it's a release for me. For you, at least you have that high-intensity release with wrestling.
Yeah.
I didn't have that at 38 years old. I'm assuming you really didn't have that when you got into boxing. And now,
no, just lifting.
All that cardio you're doing and all that high intense work where you are pushing yourself for a goal beyond lifting and bulking, it's different. And it gives you a better drive than, at least for me, than I had in the last few years.
Yeah, I felt the same way. It was just, I hit like a very stagnant part of my life, and I was stuck in the mud, just going through the same repetitive, wake up, go to work, come home, lay on the couch, like just very, like it was just not good for my, it's not good for my mental health.
No.
One thing that I've always, when I'm working out is when I feel like alive, when I feel my best, because once you see those little results is like what you need. It takes a little bit to get there, because I always fall off after, getting back into the shack in the summertime. But once I hit that little strive, like I feel like I'm my old self. Yeah. But when I'm not working out, that's like my biggest downfall.
Yeah.
I let myself get there every year. Like I know, all right, Matt, you missed 3 workouts. You didn't go to the gym this morning. And then before I know it, it's a month. And then it's tough for me to go. And then it's 5 months and I'm laying on the couch, stomach. My fiance's looking at me like, what? I didn't sign up for this. No, it's not fair to her either, because, like I shouldn't. She signed up for Matt in shape, motivated,
energized.
Yeah, not the Matt that gave up on the couch. Like she didn't sign up for that
Once
either.
you get out of that rhythm, though, it's real easy to fall into that couch potato lifestyle. I mean, I know for me it was at least.
Oh God, yeah.
Once I had kids, and then they started getting more active. I'm coaching football. I'm moving. I realized how far I had fallen, and it was time to reacclimate to an active lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I feel like just the fact that you're saying like I get into this mundane thing, like I feel like this year coming into the shack, like, I don't think you're going to get back on the couch. Like, I think you got your motor running, and now you're doing a lot of things for yourself that you probably weren't doing in years past.
No.
Your daily routine, you know, seems to be pretty regimented, seems to be pretty on point. Seidenberg was talking about how much people just kind of go into autopilot. And, like, I've been there too, dude. It's like fucking, like you said, like, it's like Groundhog's Day. And, like, in those points, if I'm not moving my body, I'm not getting sweaty, I don't like my energy. I don't like how I handle situations that normally wouldn't really bother me. It's like this endless mental tidal wave that just pulls you down, and it's actually more physically draining than actually like working out. Like, I feel like it takes more of a toll on you. You're more tired when you're not doing shit than you are when you are, which doesn't sound like it makes sense. Like, you go hard for an hour, that 1 hour today helps you out tomorrow. Where you don't do shit today, you're gonna be feeling it tomorrow, and you're probably not gonna do anything tomorrow either.
Well, plus if you're not doing anything because you're stressed and you're sitting there just thinking about
in
it,
your own head.
At least for me, I go to the gym or whatever, I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah, it
like
takes your mind
yesterday,
off it, at least for a hot
yesterday
second.
I'm sitting at the hospital all day with my dad. He's going through some stuff, and I texted Robbie. I was like, bro, I'm gonna be a little bit late, but I'm coming. And I got there and I was like, let's just keep it light. Do me a favor, just stretch me. I'm really tight. My neck's a little fucked up. I haven't slept in a few days. And he was like, bro, let's just get this work. And I was like, all right, cool. So we went hard. For that hour, I didn't think a lick about my father. Nothing bothered me. And I felt more energized after I lifted and after I worked out and trained than I did going into the gym after just sitting at a hospital doing nothing except sitting and waiting.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was like that little jump start for the day that I needed. Just that clarity to get rid of that stress and those thoughts, like what could go wrong, what's going to go wrong, where are we at?
Yeah.
Now you're preoccupied, you're moving shit, you're lifting, you're pushing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that physical stimulation burns that mental stress a little bit for me.
It definitely does. It definitely does. What I was actually thinking about as you were just explaining that, I was kind of just picturing, if you haven't been on this self-improvement journey of exercising and all these things that you're acknowledging for yourself, and your dad was in the hospital, and we'll just say like a few years ago, Billy.
Yeah.
How would you be feeling right now?
I'd have been eating my feelings all day. That's it.
Like,
You're
that's
an eater,
it.
like stress eater?
Bro, all day. You know I'm fucked up when I'm eating. So we had a kid that worked for us, really good friend of the family. He's been around me for a long time. I taught him a lot from an early age, and he knew when I was stressed, if he was on the road or something, he would come back with two Reese's Fast Breaks. And he'd be like, go ahead, eat your feelings.
That's my
Mine
jam.
too, bro.
I love
they
Fast
knew,
Breaks.
like, if I'm sitting there banging these out.
Yeah, there's something going on.
Got a problem.
Yeah, Billy's stressed. Or, you know, and so if that was me a few years ago and I didn't have that outlet that I do today that I've now embraced, I'm eating my feelings all day, bro. You know, I was never, like, I loved drinking when I was younger, but that usually led to me fighting because I also loved fighting. But I was never like, let me drink to relieve my stress. Food, all day. That was my kryptonite. We're stressed, I'm eating. And it didn't matter what it was or how much I just ate, I'm
keep it
going the fuck in.
I was just saying to Pete before we got started that I don't sleep well. Like, even if I'm in the best mental state, health, anything, I just never been a sleeper. Like, I can fall asleep at 3 o'clock, wake up at 5, and have a full day of it. Like, I don't need sleep. I kind of just, but changing my workout now that I'm going to the gym, I wake up at 5, I go to Landmark by 6, then I come home, do a cold plunge. Now that I just started my day earlier, instead of laying on that in the bed or the couch in the morning, giving me those extra 2 hours before I get up, like, that just helps my mental state by a million. Like,
Are you sleeping better since you started?
A little better because I'm a little tired. My one class is late, so it's like 9 o'clock. So when I get home, I'm kind of beat.
Yeah.
But I just don't sleep. I could work out till midnight and probably still stay up till 2, 3 in the morning.
So I got one of these smartwatches. Somebody told me, yeah, but it tracks stress levels, sleep, all that. We had Dave Seidenberg on a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about it before. He was talking about meditation. I started meditating. The last 2 weeks, I've probably been equally as stressed as I usually am. I started meditating at night. My sleep score improved until the last 4 days. My stress levels are basically the same, but my sleep improved. Like I said, that's until the last 4 days because I have like a pulled muscle in my neck that's radiating down through my shoulder. But he also recommended reishi. So now I get reishi. Sunday I woke up, my sleep score was a 30 out of 100.
What's reishi?
It's a mushroom extract.
Oh, okay.
That helps you sleep. I tried the reishi Monday night. My sleep score went from a 30 the previous night to a 54. Not great, but much improved from the 30. And so there's a lot of benefits to that. Now, he was a big cold plunge guy.
Yeah, I saw him on the
podcast. His thing was Life Cycle is the extract that he promoted for, and it worked. Maybe you want to look into it because it helped me get a little bit extra.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, and it was well needed.
Eventually, the only thing I could say, eventually it catches up to me. So it'll be one day where it's like 11 o'clock and I feel like it's 9 o'clock. So like after 6 or 7 days of my lack of sleep, it hits me hard. And then like I need to, as soon as I get home from work, I need like an hour cat nap. But then I'm back.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
Yeah, but I can't take that cat nap.
Oh, I'm a big cat nap guy. I love it.
I wish I could. It's like a gamble. You give me 20 minutes.
And you're out?
Yeah. If I lay down, I'm not getting up. I'll sleep. Like I'll take, like usually like at night, the thing tells me I get like 4 hours of sleep. I'll be on the couch napping for 4 hours if you let me. So I have to stay moving. I go to bed at 9 o'clock usually, or I try to. But there's no nap during the day because it'll fucking destroy me. I just can't wake up. But that's probably because I'm overtired.
Yeah, I think it really depends on that sleep cycle too, because that happens to me too. Sometimes I'll just get so burnt out that I'll just let my wife know, like I'm going. I have to go lay down. And like if I pass out for like 2 hours, like I wake up like I don't know. I get like this weird feeling if I wake up from like a hard nap and it's not like 20 minutes. Yeah, like. You feel like almost like you slept in at school.
Yeah. You wake up, you have a bunch of missed calls and texts, and it's only 4 o'clock.
I know.
On a Saturday, you're like, what happened?
I know. But I think it depends because sometimes I'll feel like if it's only like 20 minutes, half hour or so, like I'll feel pretty refreshed. But like if I sleep pretty hard, like all I want to do is go back to sleep. And sometimes I'll just pass out for like 10 hours. And I'm just out.
I wish.
Yeah, I can never.
Yeah, but I have like a deviated septum, so I could be out cold for 10 hours and wake up and feel like I didn't sleep at all.
Well, so
snoring hard as hell.
I'm going to buy you one of these smartwatches so you could track like the actual quality of your sleep.
I really want to see a little bit more as to what Dana White has been doing. I don't know if you guys seen his journey.
I literally just watched his podcast.
Dude.
The 72-hour water fast is what I want to try. He said, I mean, it like... I think it was 70% after you finish it decreases like chance of Alzheimer's or getting cancer. I can't remember the guy's name.
That's who I was talking about.
Gary Brecka. Yep. Every person that guy Gary has helped out has preached on whatever they go over. You know,
it just makes me think like we need more Garys. Like why aren't there more Garys? Why is everything, you know, not to get too far into like this tidal wave, but like why is everything amongst the medical field like
it's big business,
income based and like business based and like repeat customer? Like I have to take the seizure meds twice a day. Unless I figure something out for myself, I have to be on this shit for life. Yeah. Now I disconnected from it once I stopped drinking almost 9 years ago. I leaned my way off the seizure meds and I stopped taking it. I thought that I was done forever. I didn't think they were ever going to come back. They came back. I had 2 in 1 year. I know I talk about that a lot. Had 2 in 1 year. And then now, boom, twice a day, man, I'm taking this medicine. Yeah, it stops seizures. But what else? Dude, I'm putting in my body twice a day. Yeah, like I could be, you know, trying to do all the healthy things for myself possible. I'm still taking this drug twice a day. You know, so I've been a little insecure about the front of my head getting light. You know, so I'm like Googling it, and I'm like, damn, this shit might be. No, it could be. It could be.
Some stuff.
But it could be. You know, I could be light up top because whatever I'm taking to stop seizures. My point is, I got to put it in my body. My liver, my kidneys, all these other things. Like, how are they doing? You know what I mean? Where if I had like a Dr. Gary, where I could be like, dude, I used to drink like a maniac. I was having seizures all the time. I went almost 10 years. I had 2 seizures in the same year. Do I have epilepsy? Is there a natural remedy? Is it my sleep that's jacking me up? Like, can you give me some real life plug and play that I could just try without the script? And like, I just went and filled it up. I got a 90-day. So
you know what's fucked up? you take these, they give you these medications. And let's say you walk in and you got I'm making stuff up, an ingrown nail, and they give you X, Y, and Z.
Right.
The side effect is death. Like, small chance.
It's always in the commercials too,
bro. Like, I'll deal with what I got going on.
Right.
You're naming side effects that I have zero interest in being exposed to.
Right.
And you know, they downplay it or whatever, but like you said, you don't know what you're putting in, and you don't know what the long-term effects are.
I know.
So it's been tough, and you know, I know where you're at, and my wife is on seizure medication as well. It's without it, you're gonna have a tough road right now.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's got to regulate you.
Yeah, but that's the thing, dude. I didn't have a tough road when I disconnected from alcohol. I went almost 10 years.
Well, whatever's happening now, and I'm not saying that you're gonna have seizures every 3 minutes.
Right.
But if you take it off, heaven forbid, you're in the car with the kids or whatever,
I know, that's
and
the
you
other
don't have
thing.
the medication in you, and there's a little misfire. You
tough.
don't know what's gonna happen, and it's not worth taking that risk right now. You know, I mean, so
for now,
that's what I'm
I
saying,
am
for
kind
now.
of putting myself like a few years out. Like,
you
what's
could
my
game
exit?
plan that. Yeah, you could
like
have
what's
an
my
exit
exit
strategy.
here?
Of
Have you guys
course.
heard about the stem cell stuff going on?
Huge,
dude,
huge thing.
Yeah, more with athletes. I haven't.
Yeah, with athletes. That's what I mean.
I didn't know if you meant like with stuff like with
well,
that.
it's
same thing.
the convo started with the athletes, and it's basically this one kid. Like the doctor told him he needs shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went to Mexico, I think.
Yeah,
for
that's where
stem cell.
they go. Yeah, they go
a lot of
somewhere
them
south
there.
or somewhere.
Venezuela, I think, too, has some different things. But my point was, so he goes to the doctor. They say, "Oh, you need surgery." Most people are going to say, "All right, schedule me in. Let me know what we need." And the athletes, they have a short window to compete, so they probably, this family probably said, "Well, all right, let's see what else is happening.
Yeah.
Let's talk to somebody else." Make a long story short, the kid got stem cell. He's still wrestling. His shoulder's fine.
Never had the
He's got
surgery?
no pain. He didn't need the surgery.
Yeah,
now
that's
you're
crazy.
getting under the knife. They're slicing you open. How many times have you heard somebody get surgery on one part of their body and then they had to get multiple surgeries amongst the same thing? There's a guy I coach with. He got back surgery years ago. He's had about 14 back surgeries, ever
Sounds
since.
brutal.
Brutal, dude. And I feel for this guy, but I don't want to get into saying doctors are all bad and the medical field is terrible, but my point was like, okay, if the stem cell could work for the shoulder that somebody said needs surgery, there's got to be something for me that I could have out there that it could grow right out of the ground.
Yeah.
Well, the doctors just push because they get a kickback. So it's like,
I actually just had this conversation
they
at lunch.
come in, all right, if I give, 10 people Adderall scripts, I get a
They're getting paid.
$10,000 bonus. Xanax, $10,000 bonus. So for them, it's like, I don't sleep well. Boom, Xanax. I'm tired at work. Boom, Adderall. Whatever they need to hit their quota is,
Well, Scott.
the sad pharma
Scott was
deal.
a big salesman for a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
And we were just at Alex's Cucina having lunch. And he was giving me the rundown because we were talking about my dad being in the hospital and what's going on. And we got to talking about medications. And he explained to me how it works. The doctor is actually the pharmaceutical company's customer, not the pharmacy, not the patient.
Right.
So they're going in, they're doing business with the doctor, getting them to write the scripts.
Yeah.
And he was explaining how years ago, the doctor, the sales rep would take the family to Aruba or, send them gift cards to do this or whatever, just to get them to write more scripts. More scripts, more scripts. They're hammering this shit down our throats. And more people are medicated today than ever before.
Yeah.
And
Because they get kickbacks, yeah.
Yeah, and some stuff may be beneficial, but the vast majority of it is bullshit. Look at me, my triglycerides and cholesterol. They had me on everything. It helped a little bit, maybe a couple 100 points. It came down. I mean, I had astronomical triglycerides. Everybody fell over. 6 months with Robbie, actually taking his time to identify my body type and my metabolism and what he called the metabolic reset and this, that, and the third, and actually tweaking it for me. My triglycerides are down 2,000 points.
Oh,
That's
wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
In 6 months.
And the medicine had a slight effect, but it didn't go down 2,000.
Correct.
Yeah.
So just taking that time and finding that natural fix,
Yeah.
or real fix,
Yeah.
Was worth it.
I was gonna say people just the fast fix, like the people just no time, lazy, just go to the doctor.
Yeah.
They don't want to do the research. They don't want to look into an ulterior or alternative. They just want to go to the doctor. They'll
No one
prescribe
wants to
something.
work for it.
Yeah.
And, doctors, there's no science to it. I mean, I sit there and I watch them, especially when we're going to try this amount of this and this amount of that. And if this doesn't work, we're going to try this. I mean, what's the difference if the doctor's doing that or the nutritionist and trainer is tweaking my diet? Well, this didn't work. Let's increase this and decrease this intake, and you're going to eat more here and fast here. Like he just sent me my new diet. I have 3 phases. So the first 2 days are phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And the 3 phases are different breakdowns, different intakes of protein and fats and carbohydrates. And it's worked for me.
Awesome.
So
yeah, that's great.
What's the difference if he's doing that with intake as opposed to medication at a doctor?
Yeah, for sure. Did you ever get diagnosed with like ADD or ADHD or anything?
No,
because
I
want you
did.
to talk about your drink a little bit and like what that's actually done for you, because that is a natural remedy.
Yeah,
and it's not Ritalin.
No,
you know?
I never had ADHD. I never went to the doctor much as a kid for like stuff like that.
Right.
Kind of,
Did you feel like you were a hyperactive kid? Usually wrestlers are similar.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to like everyone else hanging
Right.
out with, it was pretty normal.
Right.
Like I didn't, I thought I was never focused on school. School was never like
top priority.
my big thing. Like
Right.
I did okay. I got by.
Yeah.
But school was never mine. Now that I got older, I realized like me going out and trying things, like that's the way I learn.
Yes.
I can't sit and read a book. It'll never happen. I just don't. I love podcasts now. I'll drive and listen to podcasts, but as a kid, it's never the book thing. But I found online this product Magic Mind, and it's like just it's almost like a natural Adderall. It helps with, staying focused. It helps me. It actually, by the end of the day, it almost helps me sleep a little better, but it keeps me energized. It keeps me focused. It helps me get like activated in the morning. I have it with my coffee, and by the middle of the day, I'm super wired and
Nice.
And I don't have to take an Adderall. I don't have to take any prescription meds, and me and my fiance, we like live by it now.
That's
And
awesome.
it helps you stay focused.
Oh my God, yeah. It's I'll send you the link when we leave here, but I mean it's almost like an Adderall. Like
Really?
But I don't get that jittery feeling.
And it's all natural.
All
I'm guessing?
natural, yeah. It's got matcha
See,
in
that's
it.
what I was
It's got
saying.
some sort of like mushroom in it. But I mean, I swear by it now. I try to pitch it to all my friends and stuff to give it a whirl. But
Nice.
it's definitely worth a try.
And in your experience, you had a very positive outcome.
Very positive outcome, and there's no real negative effects. Like I don't pee orange or anything. I just it wears off nicely. I don't get that big crash like a lot of people get with the Adderall.
Yeah. It's smooth.
It's smooth. Yeah. It's got a little, if you like the matcha, taste. It was a little bit to get used to that little bitter.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it tastes
But,
better than the reishi mushroom extract.
Yeah.
That tastes like dirt. So,
But it's definitely worth a try. Now I have it just part of my daily routine. They say it takes a little bit to like feel the effects. Like you're supposed to take it for a few days. It's not like you drink one on your first day and you're like, it worked.
well, it's not like taking a Red Bull and drinking it.
Exactly.
And getting instant energy. It's got to build up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
For sure. What kind of plunge setup do you have?
Oh, that has been like a lifesaver.
Yeah.
I mean, when I tell you, like, I know Seidenberg said about it, just releasing the dopamines and
Yep.
everything. My morning is just increased by like 1,000%.
That's awesome.
I did a little research. The way my apartment's set up right now, we have like a balcony, so I kind of bought like I found like a blow up one.
That's
So it's
what I
not-
have.
It's nothing anything crazy. I don't
Is it
have,
NeuroCure?
Yeah, I think
Something
it
like
might
that?
be.
You
Yep.
put the sticks in, it's like a circle
Yep,
with
exactly.
the inflated outside.
literally
That's what I
on
have.
my porch. Now that it's cold, I don't have to worry about putting ice in
Same.
it anymore.
In the
But-
summer, that bill gets high, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
On ice. I was buying 8 bags of ice a day. I was like, but I was
They-
justifying it like, well,
It's
I used to
worth it.
smoke cigarettes. So,
Yeah.
like,
Now
this
you got
isn't,
ice.
I was spending $10 on that. I'll spend 20 on self improvement every day.
Yeah.
You know?
They have a machine now
I
that
saw that.
goes in. It's like $500 and
It's worth it.
And it sets a temperature for you. So if you have like a blow up one,
Yeah.
but I mean that's another part of my normal day. Wake
Good.
up, go to 5, go to the gym, come home, cold plunge on the porch. Don't even go inside. Cold plunge in the house, shower, get dressed, Magic Mind out the door,
Perfect.
and it's been a big boost in my morale, my
Good.
health. My biggest thing prior to not going to the gym is like getting started. Like, I do get anxiety every once in a while. So
Same.
if I'm laying in bed and it's like I wake up early and I don't, it's like I toss, I turn, mentally go through some stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of just get stuck there. And it's
You're almost
like,
asking for anxiety at that point.
Yeah.
And then you might fall asleep for a second, and then you wake up, and then you have that kind of same feeling we were talking about. I could totally relate to that.
You can't get out of I can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
Now that I'm on like a good regimen, which is why I kind of been preaching just, being healthier.
Yeah.
When you're not working out and you have nothing, for me, I just can't get up. I get really bad anxiety. I lay there and I'm just like stuck.
Yeah.
But now, just going through a better regimen for me is getting up. Once I feel that, I just got to get up and get going. Even on the weekends, if I'm not going to the gym, get up and start my day.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's great. Actually, when I was like, super depressed and in my own way, I literally didn't get out of bed. I think it was like 48 hours.
Oh, wow.
And it was one of, yeah.
I never knew that.
Well, you came to my house.
Yeah.
You were at my house that day. I just got out of the hospital that day. The seizures take a physical toll on you too. So like I was always aware of that because your whole body is shaking. It's a lot on your mind. It's like I would compare it to like it's almost like you did like a marathon. Like,
oh, man, really,
your head is pounding. Yeah. So I like recovered. I always had like this recovery period, but it was a little bit of the recovery, a little bit of being super depressed. But either way, I didn't get out of bed for like 48 hours. Oof. But my point is, once I got out of bed, something went off in my mind that I want to reorganize this closet in my room. And like Abby and I share this closet, and like there was just shit everywhere. Dude, I get out of bed finally after 48 hours. I get out of bed. I literally reorganized the whole closet, and I was like feeling myself again, So I like rearranged the whole closet, and then one of my clients called me, and my dad was with me like this whole time. The kids were probably downstairs or whatever they were doing, so my dad was there. So I rearranged the whole closet. I get a call from one of my clients, and I was ducking everybody. I didn't talk to anybody in that whole time. I wasn't even looking at my phone. I don't even know if my phone was working, but I hear my phone ring. I feel good about the closet. I pick up the phone, and I just like black out in a good way. Just like you do the same job over and over. You kind of just
you know what
you know what's happening.
You know the script.
Yeah, so I hang up the phone, and my dad from downstairs goes, "See, you still got it, buddy."
Nice.
And I go, "I do still got it, man. You're right."
Good feeling.
It was a great feeling, but then I got out of bed.
Yeah.
I did something. I cleaned the closet. I had a good talk. And then that was when I started saying, okay, I got to get out and get some fresh air. I got to listen to the birds chirping.
Yeah. Now, how did you respond to the previous seizures? Was it the same thing?
Which one?
When you were drinking?
When I was younger?
Yeah. Like
when I was younger, I didn't
took that much out of you that you had that recovery period.
Yeah, depending on the magnitude of how serious they are.
How long do they last for? Because they gauge, right?
I have that's the thing. Like my recovery period would be based on the magnitude of
the shaking and everything. One was pretty big.
The last one was pretty big. I don't know. I have no idea, dude. Yeah. People show up and they're like, "Oh, you were just flopping around." I was like, "Oh, I was." Like literally, I have no idea. Like the time wise, yeah. But these seizures, they're called
shuts down, right?
Everything, yes. So they're called like grand mal, and that's like the most extreme, and like you're flopping around. I have no idea like how long they last, but my recovery time or this sleep period would always be based off the magnitude. So I would know pretty quickly how bad it was when I was like, oh yeah, I fell asleep for like an hour, like I feel fine. Where that one.
You were pretty wound up when we came over.
Was I?
First got out of the hospital. Yeah, like.
Well, I got an IV in me.
Yeah, like you were up and moving. So when you said that that you were in bed for 48 hours.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised by that because I saw you fresh out and you were up moving. I mean,
I was happy to be home.
Yeah.
I had half a tooth. I was happy to be home. I remember you guys being there, and it was like shortly after you guys left that like I was probably just shot.
Yeah.
And
it takes a lot out of you. Anything.
It does. It does. It definitely takes a lot out of you.
Too, because I'm sure you were flooded with emotions.
That was where a lot of my draining was coming from too. It was like a lot of the shaking and everything, but a lot of the laying in bed, worry and thinking I can't believe this happened, and
mental wear is worse than physical tear any day of the week.
It really is.
Sure.
I mean,
100%.
It really is.
Mentally, I could kick the crap out of myself, and I will be beat down to a pulp. Physically, I'm going to be all right tomorrow. Mentally, I probably won't, because once that ball starts going, it takes a lot to stop it.
funny that you bring that up because I've been talking to a lot of the wrestling parents and the kids about that. And like, I remember being so worried before a match. Like, I don't know how your mindset was. I remember watching you and stuff, but like, I would be in great physical shape, but the draining mental thoughts that I was putting myself in, like I would get exhausted. And I'm like, why am I tired? I practiced yesterday for 2 hours. I felt fine. Yeah. That mental stuff is more draining than a lot of times a lot of the physical stuff. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, that's why sitting here for me is so beneficial.
Yeah.
Whether or not, and you said it, maybe I'm the one person that this had to help.
Yeah.
Because
maybe.
Bro, for me, this is a big release. Yeah. And like, I'm going through it the last couple of days with my dad and whatever, but weeks prior, I sit here, I talk to my boy.
Feel good.
I can't sit and talk to a therapist. I know Dave wants me to try it again. Dave Seidenberg was a big proponent for it. I'm not built for that. But I could sit here and I can talk to you and I can talk to Pete and we could all talk. And this is like an airing session for me. So like we're talking about mental stress and this, that, and the third. And I go through it all the time, just like I'm sure you do and Pete does. And just knowing that hearing Pete, not that it makes me happy that Pete had dark times or, you know, was in bed for 48 hours after a struggle, it lets me know that it's okay. It's okay to be that guy. Like, I don't have to be amped up every day looking to fight, but I do wake up looking to fight a battle. You know, listen, I'm a business owner. Shit is not all peaches and cream every day. You know, my world doesn't exist with all sunshine and rainbows. So I have to be ready for that. But I'm working on finding that inner peace a little bit, you know, and Dave helped a lot with the guidance, and I tried the extracts he recommended. I'm going to try the Magic Mind and see how that does for me. But sitting here, that's my therapy. You mentioned Magic Mind. I'm going to go try it.
Yeah.
You say it works for you. I don't want to be medicated. I don't need a doctor telling me, well, how does that make you feel? Try taking this. Maybe it'll take the edge off. And I don't want to lose the edge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the edge. I like the edge. I just want to manage it a little better. Like, we were talking about boxing.
You have been, though. I have to give you a lot of credit. This is episode 11.
This is what I preach.
Every single week, you've taken a little bit of something.
Yeah.
And this week might be here and a few other things that we could pull out of Rega. But I brought up the cold plunge because we got Billy in the plunge.
We did it Saturday.
Every week.
Do you feel that release, like the dopamine? Like, I mean, it hit me hard. I did it my first time I did it at night, and I slept better, but I mean, I was like, I did it at 9:30 right after boxing, and I was like, let's go. Like, I felt that much better.
Pete gave me every opportunity to get out of it, because initially it was going to be me, Pete, and Chris, and then it turned into me, Pete, Chris, and Nate came, the guy that got me into boxing. We would go to we were supposed to go to Pete's house, and then he said, well, 4 people, that might be tough. We went to Thrive.
Nice.
We get there, Thrive's closed. Now
they had like their office meeting and stuff. So like they were in there.
To the Bear and Birch and Freehold.
Yep.
We get there, they're not open. So
they open at noon, we get there 11:30.
I had every reason not to go, and I had said it on the podcast when we discussed it or when we were sitting here. I had a massage scheduled for 1 o'clock, so I had to be ready for that. That was all I had scheduled. I pushed the massage back because now I have to do it.
Yeah.
I've heard everybody talk about it. I'm here. Let's go. So we get in there. We go in the sauna. Pete gets in the cold plunge. Now, have you ever been there?
The
Bear and Birch?
No, I have. My one buddy, Mike Kiley, goes there all the time.
Okay.
So
nice. Kylie's your bud?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's a
awesome.
little square, and it's big enough for probably 3 regular-sized people to get in. But Pete gets in. I get in slowly, which was a mistake. I should have got in
dive
quicker.
Right in there,
I get in. Nate gets in. The thing starts flooding. Some lady walks by. She like yells at us that it's flooding. So now, just as I got my breathing under control, I now feel pressured to get out because there's water going everywhere. We hit the sauna. I get back in. I did probably a minute and a half the second time, and I felt absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely incredible. I got right in. I sat there. I got my breathing focused really quickly. And I just took a couple seconds for myself for reflection.
Yeah.
I felt incredible.
Good.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy how much that really, like, works. Like,
it really does.
You hear every single person do it, and you kind of think, like, social media sometimes it's like, you know, how much are they really telling the truth is where you hear it first. And then you try it, and you're like, wow. I mean, my first time, Chelsea, my fiance, was recording me, and she was like trying to talk to me. I'm like, like I could not. I lasted a minute maybe, I'm getting better now, like 3 minutes, but I mean, that was
Good for you, bro.
Yeah.
45 seconds.
That's what I told you. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, go in for 7 seconds.
Just
to
get
get in there,
in, right?
Yeah.
So we've said it, get uncomfortable to get comfortable. I'm not saying I'm really comfortable right now, but I'm trying to get there. Like you
I
said,
have to tip my hat
a
to
little
you,
bit
dude.
each week I take away.
I have to tip my
I'm
hat to you, dude.
trying.
You continue to just try.
I'm working on it. I've said it before, and I know you don't have life figured out. And I know you don't think that everybody should look up to you and emulate you. But for me, I want to have it as together as you.
There you go.
I see you ride the wave very well. This is me, man crushing on you a little bit. I've always had the same feeling about you.
I just went from 5'7" to 5'8", bro.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
keep the
listen,
compliments coming.
I'm picking you up, bro. When I linked up with PD, it was a couple years ago through youth wrestling. My son got involved in PD's program, and we just clicked. We vibed real hard. I always thought Pete was real cool, and then what was it? The
With pennies for push-ups?
was it pennies for push-ups?
Miles for military.
Miles for military, and then pennies for push-ups
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
And we started spending a lot of time together, and then a lot of time together turned into a lot of time together and time on the phone. Then it was a lot of time together, time on the phone, lunches together. I really got to know
friendship.
Pete.
Boom.
Yeah.
And everywhere I went, every room I walked in, especially when I was with Pete, you saw and heard the love he got.
Yeah.
And he's leaving a great mark on a lot of people. And I said to myself, I got to try and follow what he's saying. And, Pete's pretty calm. As high energy as he is, he doesn't get angry. Where I might be mellow, but I get angry.
Yeah.
And I'd prefer not to get to that point. So, I'm cool just being calm and not being over the top happy. I don't want to be angry. And I've always admired that about him. He doesn't, bro, this kid, he's in a room with the first session, let's say, at RWC. There's 25
Kids.
3, 4, and 5-year-olds running around. No one's listening.
I don't know how my coaching friends do it.
He
Because I
doesn't-
look at
he
their
doesn't sit there screaming.
Yeah, I look at their videos and I'm like, poof.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I got
It's a
3
lot.
kids at home. I can't manage the 3 kids in my house. He's managing 30 kids running around a wrestling mat that have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, but
And
you
he's
have
not
to
losing his
realize-
shit.
I got French bulldogs and I'm not even at the kid level yet, and I can't do the 2 French bulldogs.
I'm sure.
So it's a lot.
Just like you were saying before, Matt, that you feel like, in the boxing or in the gym, like whatever element that you're in, it's like your mind is clear and everything's fine. Like we always talk about the cell phone, and cell phones can lead to anxiety, and we're always on them, and it's stressful.
Really bad.
And,
My fiance will.
yeah. No, dude,
she's
it's
on
normal.
my ass.
It's normal.
I
My
can't
wife
get
used to
off
be
of
like
it
that.
though.
My wife, the other day, said something to me, and it was Saturday, we were laying down. One of my clients hit me up about an appraisal and stuff. Dude, I was so dialed in on my phone conversation. She said the same thing to me 3 times. I didn't hear shit. And she's like, babe, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I can't. The guy hit me up. I
Chelsea
can't.
right now. She
I
was saying the
talking-
same thing.
Yeah, it's normal, but the fact that you're at least addressing, acknowledging it,
I gotta get better at
it's
it.
hard to disconnect. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's tough. It's tough to get better at it. At least for me. It's not social media. It's not text messages. It's work, and I'm addicted to work.
Yeah.
Before I had my kids, because we were told we couldn't really have kids, work was my baby. It's
Yeah,
all
that
I
was it.
wanted. It's all I worked for. I don't want to neglect it. If I leave the phone over here, I mean, granted, I had to get up and just take a phone call because I thought it was something about my dad. I wouldn't take a call in this forum, but anywhere else, there's no rules.
Yeah.
I'm giving Pete more credit than I do to my wife because we could be sitting down having dinner. We could be on our anniversary date,
Just
whatever it
answer
is.
it.
I'm answering the fucking phone.
Yeah, I'm the
I
same
don't care.
Way. I'm the same way.
It's a shit quality,
Yeah.
but I got to do it. I need to find that balance, and you've done it. Whether it's little bits at a time and you don't realize how meaningful it is, you don't answer the phone at football practice. We
Yeah.
discuss that. You leave it in the car.
right. Well, that's what I was going to
can't.
say.
God, leave a phone.
I was
going
gonna
to
mention that.
I couldn't even
lose
think
my
about.
shit.
I couldn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah,
Even it being under my seat, I'm like,
Yeah,
So check
it's
it.
in my pocket right now. I have no idea what to expect when
Yeah,
I come out.
that's-
And I do get anxious when this podcast is over because I do have a lot of reaction to do, but then it's fine moving forward. But what I wanted to say about coaching wrestling and being in my element is that I'm grateful that I was able to find, yes, it does look stressful. There's all these kids, but that's my time. Dude, bills don't cross my mind.
Yeah.
Daily stressors don't cross my mind. Mental health, dude, nothing. I feel like I'm fucking levitating.
Yeah,
Last night we had practice. Cuts Connect was there. His nephew is on, on the team.
I saw the picture.
Yeah. So, but like I don't have my phone there. I couldn't get connected. I was on my phone in the beginning because I was trying to get connected to the Bluetooth. I couldn't get connected. But for that hour and 15 minutes, I am just living. Well, I'm in my element. I'm a little bit sweaty, which seems like that's the common thread here. Like we're looking for this sweat. Yeah. So I think it's a combination of that sweat, knowing that I'm helping kids out, knowing that giving them the sport that I love, and I found something that is really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And it's where I feel
but for
at
that
my
time,
best.
Nothing matters.
Yeah, nothing matters.
I was 16 years old. The first Fast and Furious came out. I never noticed the line, and it never meant anything to me until recently. Vin Diesel has a line in there for that 10 seconds or less. Nothing matters.
That's true. That's so true.
Not the store, none of it.
You're right.
And it's the truth. When you find that
1
outlet,
hour,
whether it's you going to wrestling practice or me going to coach football practice or going to the gym or doing a cold, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's your release. That's your escape from time. And I haven't looked at it that way until recently. And now you saying it and me remembering that quote over some time. Yeah. I'm trying to check the phone more. I'm trying to check not having the phone more, and put more balance in that, because when that's supposed to be your time, right? What you're doing to escape. What the fuck am I doing if I'm going to stress out about the phone while I'm trying to get that escape and that release? Yeah. So I have to practice what I preach better, but you are doing it. You're making that attempt.
Yeah.
Ask Abby, she might say something different. You know what I mean? Like that just happened on Saturday.
Yeah, dude. But at football, I know you're making that effort. At wrestling, I don't see you touch the phone during practice. You're running around doing your thing. You're making at least you're making the effort.
I know myself enough to know that I would take what I'm telling you guys as my happy place, because football is the same thing. Football, coaching these kids at football, I'm levitating the whole time through practice, the games, whatever. I know myself enough now after 37 years that if I was trying to coach these kids and talk to my clients and respond to my phone, I would be a fucking mess.
Bro, I've seen you play golf on your phone, and I'm on my phone a lot during golf.
Prime example.
I can't get into golf.
Broken. I could be having the best day of golf, dude. One client texts me, I'm in my fucking email, I'm in my phone, dude. Done. I'm like, I'm not playing this hole.
Yeah, but not even that. You'll be on the first hole, let's say. He gets a phone call. All of a sudden, he's a big walker. Yeah. My man will walk 6 holes the opposite direction, and you're just sitting there like, where did Pete go? And then he pops up like 10 minutes later. But he'll be on the phone and he'll wander, and it will fuck him up a little bit.
It does.
Where I make a conscious effort, and we discussed it with Tommy. My phone calls, there's a ton of them, but they're a minute or less. Yeah. Real quick, real short, to the point. That's it. Yeah. His job is a little different, so he's got to deal with the lender. He's got to deal with the client.
It's very reactive.
Yeah. Where mine are quick, so he gets stressed on a, let's say, 10-minute phone call. I get 30 seconds of stress in that phone call. Give me a minute, I'll be all right, and we'll figure it out. He needs to wind down a little bit, so at least you're aware that like your happy place can't be impacted by that.
For sure, man. So Matt, moving forward. When does the shop open back up? Like May, June?
Yeah, so we're seasonal. For you, I don't know if you know, I own a breakfast deli spot right on Ocean Ave in Point Beach, between the Inlet and Jenkinson's. Okay. It's a little. When we say it's the beach shack, it is a shack. Like, it is small, like 500 square foot. But I mean, it is. I got it out of college right after I graduated from Hofstra. My dad. I lifeguarded from my senior year, maybe after my senior year I did for 5 years at Jenkinson's. I lifeguarded. We always used to go. It was called Joe's Sub Shed. We used to go.
I know where it is. Yeah,
we used to go there for my breakfast sandwich. So I graduated school, and my dad, the owner Joe, passed away, and the family wanted to keep it a deli or someone. So my family has known the owners of the building for a while, and Dad offered to take over and do it, but he bought it for me and my brother. My brother was young, didn't want it, and me, I went to school for marketing, so I'm like, what am I gonna do with a deli? Like, I don't
market the shit out of the deli.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it that way though. Right. I'm more of like, I don't cook. Like, I'm the kid that like never took the garbage out. So for me, owning a business.
Now, how old were you?
23,
22
yeah.
maybe.
You're about to learn to take the garbage out of 22.
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. So Dad was like, "I'll help you, get it up. You pay me back, and it's your type deal." So my first summer, I didn't make any money. I just basically paid my dad back. But moving forward, it was like, all right, now I'm a business owner at 22, which was not in the game plan. I was interning in the city, thinking I was going to go work at some marketing firm or licensing agency or some desk job, like in a suit.
You're not a desk job guy.
Fuck no.
Well, I was going to
No,
say,
I'm
how
not,
do you
man.
feel about the choice today?
So I also now have a full-time job. I love it. I wouldn't turn back. I wouldn't turn back time.
You don't regret taking on that task?
No. Now that not even just that the Shack has become successful, just the relationships I've built there.
I'm sure.
The kids that have worked for me over the years are now like my little sisters, my little brothers.
Yeah.
I got to my mom and dad. Once I took over my full-time job, I worked for the Hess Company's my full-time. Once I took that full-time, I needed my parents' help in the summer because now I can't be there every day, So my mom kind of came in as my manager. My brother helped a little bit, but now he works for the company as well. So now I have my mom and dad I'm spending more time with.
Good.
It's tough working with family sometimes, especially
is.
those
I
long,
know that.
sweaty hours. We want to kill each other, but the good thing about my family is if we do fight, we could do a 360 and it never happened.
That's
we're,
how we are.
We're right back. We're an Italian family.
I was going to say, you guys Italian. That sounds
we do
Italian.
curse and
bigger,
scream
and we're fine.
Yeah.
We're Irish people. They'll keep that shit in.
They're holding
and they won't
grudges.
say nothing. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine till
And
it's
then
not
blow up.
fine.
Yeah.
And then it gets so bad in the blow up that now you don't talk to a relative for 3 years.
Yeah,
My
Or-
brother
that's
and
forever.
fighting in the parking
You know?
lot at work. 3 minutes later, we'll look at each other. What's for lunch?
Yeah, that's it.
Same
That's
thing.
it.
Same
Better
thing
off
with
that
my
way.
family, and I love it for it because
Good.
it releases like or it protects you from not having all that bullshit.
Yeah,
and
built
not talking
up
to my
tension.
brother, and
Yeah.
life's short.
It
You
is,
don't
sure
want to
is.
not talk to your family members.
Yep.
So
It forces a relationship that might not be there.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Listen, I love my brother, but we wouldn't be nearly as close if I didn't spend every day with this kid.
I'm sure.
I mean, that's
I
my guy,
wonder how
man.
much common ground there would be for you guys and like where you guys would even find time for each other
there
at this point.
Probably wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking
Family, you would probably be holidays.
Yeah, but I'm a fucking psycho to begin with, and Michael's really like mellow and level-headed. Like,
Right.
I'm out there. I'm the wild card all day.
that's me. My
Yeah.
brother is the more.
Michael's very
Stick to the plan.
level-headed, monotone. Like, we're gonna figure it out, and I'm like fucking racing. Let's get it. Fucking at the speed of sound. We don't have much common ground. I don't know if we would have that relationship.
So I'm
this
glad.
is our big thing. So I
Yeah.
love it.
You guys
And
are
I
able to
get
work
what you're
together.
saying when you say
Yeah,
that.
work weather.
Yeah. So yeah, now that I've owned it for 12 seasons, for the past 12 seasons. So it's been a blessing. It's been awesome. So
That's great.
I wouldn't go back. And from there, just knowledge. I opened it was called Raw Poke Bar. It was a poke restaurant. I had a few other business adventures, starting a product with Dan O'Cone. We started Straw Dock, which was like an eco-friendly, those metal straws?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We built, it's called Straw Dock. It was a wooden straw holder. So it was almost like a knife block, but for your metal straws.
Right.
Like
Oh, that's cool.
we made it to the final round of Shark Tank to get on the show.
Dang.
Like the video thing. So that was a really cool experience.
I'm sure.
We didn't get it because apparently every season has a theme. So like eco-friendly stuff wasn't
Didn't
that
kind of fit the
theme.
realm.
Yeah, so you have to reapply again. We didn't. We put our product on Amazon and we did okay with sales, but COVID kind of crushed
Yeah.
it. It didn't do too well after that. But
It was probably a short time window there too, because they banned straws.
yeah.
So you
that's
had
why
a small time of opportunity to pounce
eco
on
stuff
that.
was like through the roof. That
Yeah, I'm sure.
plastic was banned everywhere.
Yeah,
everyone
plastic
wanted
bags.
those metal straws. You got the cool. It was like a rubber mouth guard or whatever.
Yeah,
there was a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
bunch of.
I never got
stuff.
into it.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
I
There was
never
definitely
understood where we were
People
getting
were
ready.
Definitely
people
a
were
market
about it
for
though.
it, for sure.
Yeah.
So just from the Shack, I've always wanted to. I work for a company now, but I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've always wanted to, be successful and push myself. That's why it gets me into trouble a little bit. I was telling Pete earlier, like, if I get an idea, I'm like, all right, we'll invest everything into it. We will go full steam ahead.
I get
and
it.
That's how he is.
Yeah.
My friend, I'll call a friend right now. The guys I work with, Tony, Chucky, and John. they make fun
Chucky
of me.
LaBella or no?
No,
Okay.
Chucky Crone. He works for the Hess Companies with us. They make fun of me because every day I almost have a new on my Instagram. It's like, all right, what company are you coming up with today?
Yeah.
I got into media before I knew it. I had an Innovative Collabs LLC on my page. So it's like, that is
I'm crazy like
my
that.
good, because I chase my dream. I was telling people I would rather try and quote unquote fail, but I don't consider it failure. I consider it, a learning experience.
That's what I was gonna say.
So each thing I have done, and that if it hasn't done as well, has lined me up for my next thing. Like making all of these businesses and LLCs and doing the back end of stuff. I'm so knowledgeable at that where as quick as it is for me to be like, I want to, start a camera company. Before I know it, like I already did all that stuff. Like I got my tax ID, I got my LLC,
You're a pro at it.
Yeah.
Saturday,
That's
before we went for the cold plunge, I'm sitting down with Nate, and he says, "Oh, I don't know how to get an LLC for the boxing gym and blah, blah, blah." And I was like,
I got you.
No problem, bro. So he was like, I don't know how to do this. I was like, just sit there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So I started an LLC for him. I'm a 1% shareholder just because it was under my account.
Yeah, that's funny.
And, he's all set now. It took me 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe,
That's it.
And I got when I look at I'll use LegalZoom because it's easy and it streamlines everything.
Yeah.
I got fucking 10 LLCs just sitting there. And
That's what I do too.
I'm waiting for it. But Pete will call me and he'll be like, "Hey, we should."
I got this idea.
Yeah. And I'm like, let's fucking do
go.
it.
Yeah,
Dude,
no hesitation. Just
Me
like
and you shouldn't partner up because we would have 35 businesses.
I was
by
going
then.
the other
fucking
way.
broke.
You
There's
guys
gonna be money
should.
everywhere.
Yeah.
No, you guys
Chelsea's like-
should get something
Chelsea's
going.
like, do not
I
start it.
still
We
have
need
the
a
Howell
house.
Helpers LLC.
Oh,
that we
Howell
never-
Helpers, that was
he
another
hits me up,
thing.
He's like, what if we got guys that were struggling and up against it and to clean leaves? He's like, maybe we could make this a business. I was like, fuck it, I'll get an LLC for it right now. He's like,
Howell
Helpers.
Helpers. That was the
Have the
most
Howell
recent
Helpers
one.
LLC.
That's hilarious. That's literally, Chelsea's like, we need a house. Do not
Right.
any more businesses. We need.
Right.
If any, right now, there's a few other things I want to do, but its house is number one priority. So I can't start anymore. Now
You can move into my basement.
This
We can
guy
start-
is
we can
addicted
just
to
hang out.
LLCs,
Yeah,
bro.
we
He's
just
just
like,
start a
we
business.
can hang out,
anymore.
start LLCs, and Chelsea can hang out in the
Would be
basement.
cool.
My wife
we
can hang out with her. It'll be awesome.
start these LLCs, then have people buy our LLCs from us. It's like when people buy the
Buy
website.
and
You
hold.
you start a website like a very microwave.com.
How would we market that?
I don't know. Use my background. We'll throw it on. We'll figure it out.
Let's
He's
go.
the marketing guy,
Should
dude.
I LLC that company
Yeah,
that's
can we?
marketing the LLC?
Yeah, let's just get a bunch of LLCs.
LLC's anonymous.
Yeah,
over
Yeah,
here.
but you know what's fucked up? I'm going to go back to work and I'm going to start 3 more LLCs.
You know,
as soon as I leave
it's
here.
funny
Dude,
that you
it's-
guys say that you just jumped because we were talking about COVID. I had this vision of anti-dad bod. And all I did was talk about it all the time. And I was working with a lot of older people at the time. I was significantly younger than everybody around me. And I kept saying, I'm doing these Zoom workouts with the wrestlers every day, anti-dad bod. And I'm talking it out. And you could have healthy meals, workout plans,
Yeah.
all these great things. And then, they would just be like, well, what about moms? I'm like, I don't know. Fucking
I'm
dad
not a
bod.
mom.
I'm
I
not
don't
a
know.
mom.
It's
I just
not-
know dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where if I was more like you guys, right before, this is right around COVID, baby, I could have been fucking Zooming, working out with
Yeah.
everybody, getting people's health
Anti-mom
right.
bobs.
It would have
Yeah,
been perfect.
but-
Yeah, mom bod. Yo, I was telling Nate, I could be the 2023 Richard Simmons, minus the
As long
outfit.
as,
No,
you
no,
gotta
keep
wear the
the
outfit.
outfit.
Get,
No,
the
you
gotta
right
wear the
kicks
outfit,
going,
bro.
the high shorts.
gotta
Let's
keep the
get this
outfit.
weight off, ladies. Let's
Well, you
do
just
this.
gotta, it
yeah.
might be kind of like a really difficult thing once you first get in that rhythm, but you got an idea, just kind of rock with
That's
it.
it. Just rock it. Don't
look
overthink it.
Look at this. We talked about this for how long? And then scheduling conflicts and this
2
and
years,
that.
bro.
And then finally I was like, bro, we're playing
Just do
golf.
it.
I was like, bro, I'm making the appointment at the studio. I'm calling Alan. I'm booking waves. We're going. We came to do a mic check and filmed an entire episode. The first episode, I think it's good because I'm on there
Yeah.
and I want it to be so amazing. But everybody probably watching is like, what the
is going
fuck
on
are
down
these
there?
guys doing? We were supposed to talk into the mic so Tom could make sure we didn't sound ridiculous. And we didn't stop talking for an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh wow.
So,
He's shaking his head.
yeah, it's exactly how it happened. But you got to take the action step.
Yeah.
Whether or not you follow through after that, you have the option now.
For
so,
sure.
us getting here, we didn't have to be here 11 episodes later.
Yeah.
But we had to do the first one.
Yeah, the fact that you guys have that innate thing within you to you know, be able to just not even overthink it and just go. Just get the house when the time is ready.
Yeah.
But don't change. Don't teeter from that. You guys have something that's really good as long as you can sustain it. And maybe you just fill in some blanks that you know you're lacking, where it's like, okay, this is a brilliant thing. I'll do the LLC. I need X. I need Y. Okay, who could fill in these? And then roll with it.
Well, there was I think I'm like I said, I like podcasts and I do watch all of like Logan Paul's podcasts and stuff.
Nice.
I think it's called Impulsive, but
that sounds right up your wheelhouse.
Yeah. Mark Cuban was on there and he was talking about just all the businesses he's ever had, and he's like, you guys only know my successful ones.
Right.
He's like, I have fucking 400 businesses that I've done, and it's the same thing. It's like people, you know, you throw enough shit at the wall, it's gonna stick.
Something has to stick at some point.
So, and like I said, I would rather try a million things, because I would say if someone told me like, this is your dream job, I will give you your dream job, I don't know exactly what I would say. I don't know what it is.
I don't have one.
But maybe I'm thinking maybe I don't, but it's a bunch of little things that make me happy.
That's what I was going to say.
So like I don't have I want to be an architect or an engineer, but maybe it's like I want to do a little bit of everything, but I have to manage that time properly.
Yeah.
True.
Instead of sometimes I take on too much, which is my problem. At the time I had the beach shack, I had Straw Duck, I had Raw, and then I had my full-time job.
Dog.
How am I supposed to...
I wonder why you don't sleep.
Yeah, how am I supposed to give all of them... I know very successful people figure it out, but they have the right people in place. I didn't have the right people in place.
That's not a fair way to look at it.
No.
Because you
Also,
could
you
be
weren't
very
doing-
successful, and you already are very successful. We're here talking about things that you have accomplished. Whether it's you're a multimillionaire or you got $5 in the bank, you are successful because you've done things that other people have let fear or opinions or hard work influence them not to do it. Matt, you got your ass up and you fucking did it.
Yeah.
So, rich, not rich, successful business model or not, you are a success.
Yeah, I appreciate
because you
that.
fucking did it, bro.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah,
And you know what I was thinking? I think that now that you're on your self-improvement journey and you are very self-aware and you know these things that you need to do for yourself, maybe you can take on 4 or 5 things.
Yeah, I'm definitely in a...
Now, your foundation is right.
I'm definitely in the way better mental state, body healthy.
Physically, yeah.
I don't let too many people outside influence. It was always like... It's always the people that have never done it, never started a business.
People not doing shit are going to tell you that you can't do it.
Or tell me how to do it.
It's the same thing with your friends telling you can't box.
Yeah, how are you telling me to run a business? You don't run a business.
You barely
never
go
run
to
a
work.
business. So why are you telling me how to deal with a vendor? You don't.
Yeah.
You've never dealt with a vendor.
Yeah.
So it's always you got to learn to take in the bullshit and just kind of let it go in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
Because that's all people do now. They just like to fucking chat and bullshit, and
no one is happy if you're successful. Everybody, I'm sorry that's not accurate, but I feel like a lot of people, especially the people in your inner circle, root for your downfall.
That starts within them, dude.
No, I
They're
agree,
not
but like,
doing good in themselves.
For sure.
That's why they have that towards you.
That I'm incredibly close with.
Strangers are probably more supportive.
Way more supportive.
Yes.
I have people that I am incredibly close with that have never watched 1 minute of this fucking podcast. I want to break my balls and tell me I think I'm like the next Joe Rogan or whatever. And I'm like, bro,
fuck off.
You're supposed to be like family to me. And like, you can't even just fucking watch the fucking thing and you got to talk shit. Like, I get it and I'm good with that relationship. But like,
no, it's
people
funny.
don't actually want to root for you
to
succeed.
No. Why? Why do they want you to succeed when they're sitting on their couch, unhappy, miserable, content with their life?
Misery loves company.
Yeah.
Misery loves company.
And everybody, it's tough to make the jump and go do something with fear. And I still struggle with that, you know.
You're going to struggle with it forever.
Yeah, it's tough.
I struggle every time I come here and sit here and have them film me talking, and I feel like I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
But you know what I know? I walk into Little Sharks Monday night for the first practice. I got, you know Joe Grasso?
Yeah.
He's one of the coaches. Comes up to me. I love the podcast. We're talking about the episodes. 2 other parents came up to me. A mom came up to me to tell me that her husband listens and she listens. Like, bro, there's people out there that are strangers.
Yeah.
That are
They're
rooting
watching,
for you.
yeah,
That are
yeah,
fucking rooting
100%.
for you. While people that you love, that you think love you, are
It's
rooting
like you
for
get
your
the random DM from someone after you post a boxing video, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know you like watch my stuff. He's like, dude, you're getting so good.
Yeah.
Your motions are better. And I was like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
bro, I appreciate it.
That reminds me of when you'll see like 500 views and like 4 likes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah,
you
no.
know you saw it.
Yeah, everyone
Whether or
saw
not
it.
you hit the
Everyone likes
button.
That's actually why I like
Especially when
posting
it's on the
stories
story.
now.
Yeah.
Because
See,
I see who's out there looking.
Right.
And you could comment. You don't have to. You could like it. Don't.
Yeah.
But no, I see you not showing any love.
yeah.
And if you're not showing any love, why do I have to show you any? Because, like, I'm big on supporting everybody. Like, I don't have to know. I could know you. I don't have to know you. If I think you're doing something good or, like, it looks like you're struggling, I'm going to reach out.
Yeah.
Or if I see you put a post up and I think you made progress, way to go, bro. You're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Or if you, like, put something up that sounds like a little depressed, I'm just going to hit you with a,
Yeah.
you good?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
like-
that stuff really does go a
Yeah,
long
but
way.
if you're just watching my shit and there's never like a hey, good job or like a just a thumbs up emoji, like well fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
It's okay. We're going to
Yeah.
keep going regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People,
we're gonna start LLCs and
yeah.
fucking sell them,
Yeah,
baby.
the two of you guys
Let's
together,
go.
man.
It
It's
can
be
dangerous.
dangerous
Let's
too.
go.
Dangerously good though,
Yeah, I like
because
it.
you're both on self-improvement journeys,
Yeah.
and you're not fearful.
No,
Like
I don't
yeah.
give a shit.
You got to make the leap.
Yeah.
You gotta give it a try. At least
So-
give it a try.
Yeah, but you seem a little bit more centered than me. I'm impulsive in everything in life. Like it does. I had a phone call to buy Devils tickets, and I bought an entire fucking season. I never
okay.
went to.
I'm
I never
not-
went to I never went to hockey.
I'm
I
not
don't
that
know
bad.
anybody.
I was
that
there
plays
for that
hockey.
whole thing. That was the weirdest thing ever. So we go to a Devils game. I end up getting these tickets. We get like these sick tickets for free. We're down like literally on the ice.
Nice, yeah.
And then, like, you know, we had a decent time. Mason wasn't feeling well. I was having a blast. It was preseason. I didn't realize how hyped they get.
Yeah,
and,
hockey-
like, it was
hockey-
preseason.
hockey
They were
fans
giving
are-
it their
are
all,
wild,
lighting
yeah.
people up.
All the vibes.
So it was a cool night overall. And, like, some young dude in a suit comes over, just sells the shit out of this guy.
Done.
And he's
Well,
like,
so
oh,
that
X
night,
amount of
he took
dollars. I'm
my-
like,
he
dude,
took my number.
you don't even like hockey.
Nah,
What are
he
you
took my
doing?
number. He followed up a couple times, and then he just caught me like the right time. Like,
Yeah.
I blew him off a few times. I had just sold a house, and I made a bunch of money. And
Had
he
some extra
called
coin.
like right after I closed,
Oh, that's it.
and he's like, "Yo, you want to buy Devils tickets? Let's talk about it." And I was like, "You know what, Austin? I got
I do.
time for
I
it."
actually do.
I actually do right
And
now.
I got off the phone with him and I called my wife and I was like, "Hey, we just bought Devils tickets." She goes, "Oh, what game are we going to?" I said, "No, we're going
Everyone,
to
every
we're going to
home
all
one,
of
every
them."
home one.
She goes, "You're a fucking idiot," and hung up on me.
Yeah, I'd be Chelsea.
Yeah. But she knows who she married, and I know who I married too,
There you
right?
go.
So there's good and bad on all sides. But yeah, we got Devils tickets for no fucking reason. I know 3 people on the Devils, and the only reason I know one of them is because he's the other guy's brother. So, I know none of the fucking rules.
Yeah.
You got
my-
the gear now, too? I know you're paying top dollar
My
buying it
daughter
at the
fucking
stadium.
loves it. She's turning 4 at the end of December. Her favorite thing
Oh,
is
that's
the
great
fight.
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
That's
Bro,
what it-
she's
that's what
she's
it's
little
about.
Billy Jr., dude.
Her
you might have
first
another
game-
fighter on your hands.
Her first game, we're sitting now. Our seats are at the glass behind the net, so we're right behind the net. There's a huge fight right in front of us. This is last season. She's 3 at the time, and it's like a minute fight. She's freaking out. We go upstairs to meet Josh, my ticket rep from that at that point, and my daughter starts like throwing up in the garbage can, like from excitement.
Dang.
But I'm looking at her like, Jesus Christ, you're like a middle-aged old white man who just got done watching a fight and pounding fucking beers,
hilarious.
and you're throwing up in the garbage can. Like, you got the whole experience in one shot. And it is now her favorite thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
She loves it.
Well, then
So-
for that, it's worth it.
Definitely.
For your daughter to.
Yeah, but
Like
now I don't
Grizzly.
have the time, and we discussed this the other day. Maybe next year I'll get a couple
season or
weekends.
something?
No, I'll try and get a weekend package.
Well, what hockey's like 108? Aren't they like a lot of games for hockey?
There-
There's like 80
was it
games.
80?
I think
80
I have
something?
42 at home.
yeah,
so
that's a lot.
That's a
but,
lot, dude.
Yeah, it's a big commitment, and especially now.
Especially since you don't even fucking like hockey.
Well, yeah, but what I do like is being with my family.
100%.
Yeah,
So it's
family
worth it.
night.
Like
So
Matt said, it's worth it then.
I
Yeah,
haven't
family
gotten to
night.
go. The season started in October. We were playing football. Football for flag was Monday, Wednesday, and sometimes Saturday. My daughter's in cheerleading. She's going during the week. I couldn't make the games, so I've been to 3 games this year.
Yeah.
And it's like a waste. It's only going to get busier next year. Now we're in wrestling. I got Little Sharks Monday and Thursday nights, so that's out. So next year I might try to get like Saturday games, like maybe get 2 a month or 1 a month.
There you go.
So I can take the
Still get
kids
that
and
family
still
time.
get that time.
Absolutely.
But I fucking hate hockey. I like the atmosphere.
Yeah, the atmosphere.
And I like being with my
family.
kids.
Yeah.
Now, as somebody who's clearly going to be a serial entrepreneur in the sense of we're just getting LLCs together, and you're going to eventually try to do something with them, I promise.
Yeah.
When you do have kids, make sure that you focus on them as much as you can, because there is nothing more important than those kids.
Yeah.
And it's been a little bit of a journey for me to figure that out. I've always been a very present father. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my kids. But there are times where you're laying in bed or you're cuddling and you're thinking about a movie or whatever, or you're watching a movie and then you start thinking about work, and now you're checking the phone, and now the phone's, whatever it is, make sure you take that time to breathe and enjoy those moments, because especially from like 0 to 5, bro,
Quick,
it's like that. And once you miss the first, there's never a second.
Yeah. I always say that with my friends, I blink an eye and the kids are,
Yeah.
you know, walking or talking or something. My family, my mom was, after she had me, was pretty much a stay-at-home mom, you know, old school Italian ways.
Yeah.
Dad went out, worked. But, you know, very, very present, you know, family. Dad made it to every wrestling match. Mom and dad made it to every wrestling match.
Yeah.
They made sure, you know, everything
So
was
you
taken
had a good
care
role
of.
model.
Yeah. Dad always a hard worker, always, you know, never had a like a 9-to-5 job, was always just a hustler, kind of where I probably partially get my work ethic from.
For sure.
Made it work, you know. If he used to bounce at night, do his morning, you know.
He was at Jenks, right? Or
Yeah, he was head of security at Jenks for a while.
I remember seeing him there in my
Then
heyday.
he has an ice cream business on Jenks Beach, and then he does sells houses, gets into used cars.
He's a hustler.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so same thing. I barely saw him sleep,
Yeah.
so it's like kind of like probably in our genetics that we don't sleep well.
Yeah.
But you know, just very proactive and very hands-on family. So I definitely want to be like that for
That's
for
the one
mine.
thing. I had that same role model. My dad broke his ass. He was one of the hardest workers I knew, but he never missed anything.
Yeah,
for
my
us.
dad
He
never
was always
seen.
there.
Mom and dad did not miss one
Yeah,
sporting event.
it's important.
Yeah,
It really is.
so.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you so much
Yeah,
for joining us, dude.
This was fun. I
We had a
appreciate
great
it.
time chopping it up with you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Wish you nothing but the best on your self-improvement journey. Your self-awareness and everything that you're doing on a daily basis is really going to pay off tenfold, and it's going to make things a lot more sustainable for you. And like I said, you're building a foundation amongst yourself and what you know you could feel good. So I think you're really going to be able to get to a point where you can keep grabbing all those things, and you weren't sure where your dream was going to be, dream job was going to be, but it sounds like it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
Your
with the
dream
right
is to be
foundation.
spread too thin.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're gonna love it, bro, on there.
I
My
really
man.
appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Awesome.
You are crushing
Thanks,
it.
Yeah, bro. Thank
Good
you.
seeing you.
Thank
Everybody,
you,
don't
guys.
forget, like, subscribe, share it if you don't mind. We appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Great podcast.